Hello, Patriots. This is the story the mainstream media doesn't want you to hear. What is it? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Henry, and this is Conservative Commentary, where we spread the MAGA message. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This really helps us grow and get the message out. Patriots, we've said it for years. We knew it. We felt it. And now the evidence is burning its way into the open, literally. According to explosive revelations brought to light by Dan Bongino and other brave truth tellers, federal sources have reportedly discovered burned bags, yes, bags full of documents to be destroyed, pointing directly to a conspiracy so deep, so treacherous, that it makes Watergate look like a parking ticket. What was inside these bags? Evidence of a coordinated, premeditated conspiracy involving Hillary Clinton, James Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, and yes, even Barack Obama and Joe Biden, to create and push the fake Russia collusion hoax. It was a lie designed to take down President Trump. Hillary approved the Russia collusion hoax in the summer of 2016, and the media was all too anxious to perpetuate it. They knew Trump was innocent, they knew there was no Russia collusion, but they didn't care, because this wasn't about justice, it was about power. We're now staring at the very real possibility of criminal charges, conspiracy, abuse of power, obstruction, and yes, some are even saying the T word, treason. The deep state shredded documents, manipulated intelligence, and weaponized America's most powerful agencies to interfere with the presidential election and overturn the will of the people. And for what? To stop one man, Trump, from draining their corrupt swamp. We also learned that Obama ordered the hoax to be polished after Trump was elected. Who was involved? Brennan, Clapper, Comey, and perhaps others. Why? To make sure Trump was distracted and could not enact his agenda. And the media, again, all too willing to keep reporting about Russiagate. They lied to Congress, they lied to the courts, and they lied to you. And they thought they'd get away with it. But you know, the truth always has a way of rising from the ashes. It's time now for indictments. It's time for accountability. It's time for justice. Take a look at the following video and let me know what you think in the comments.
We begin tonight, though, with a smoking gun. This has been the product of 7 to 8 years of coverage on this program, and that is the classified annex from the Durham report is classified no more. The newly revealed evidence might be more explosive than anything we have seen to date. Senator Grassley seems to think so. As a reminder, special counsel John Durham, he was tasked under Trump's first term to investigate the sketchy origins of the Russia hoax, but for whatever reason, the material I am about to show you was designated as classified, not revealed to the public until now. It can get confusing. We're going to go slow. We're going to explain it in detail. We begin with a truly stunning email. It's from July 2016. That was the month no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute, James Comey said, you might recall. Anyway, July 2016, according to the documents declassified by Senator Chuck Grassley, a top Soros-backed Clinton ally, his name, Leonard Bernardo, wrote the following, quote, HRC, that'd be Hillary Rodham Clinton, approved Julia's idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. That should distract people from her own missing email, especially if the affair goes to the Olympic level. Let me read that again. HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton, approved the idea about Trump and Russian hackers. Great idea, right? Emails continue. In the absence of direct evidence, CrowdStrike and Threat Connect, which are DNC-linked tech firms, will supply the media, and they're all too willing to take it.
But we begin this Sunday morning with the chance for justice, finally, and the DOJ's strike force, named last week to investigate evidence disclosed about the Russia collusion hoax, with a look at next legal steps as we continue to search for accountability for the biggest political scandal of our time. And after a bombshell week with DNI Tulsi Gabbard disclosing something this audience has suspected for a long time, that President Barack Obama may have been pulling the strings after Trump won in the November 2016 election, pushing a plan to muddy up the incoming president's name and handicap his new administration with a phony story about Russia. This past week, 𝗕𝗂𝗕𝗑𝗏𝗡 sent criminal referrals to the Department of Justice, and the DOJ announced the formation of that strike force to evaluate the evidence presented. And joining me right now, back 7 years later in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive, is the current director of the CIA, once again, John Ratcliffe. Director, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Great to see you, Maria. Great to be back with you.
And thank you for all of your truth-telling over the years. We will speak with Devin Nunes, who opened this up wide so many years ago. But I want to get your reaction to what we're seeing now with 𝗕𝗂𝗧 Gabbard highlighting the truth here, as you have done so many years ago.
Well, Maria, before the intelligence community assessment that DNI Gabbard was talking about, and before Devin Nunes' report about that intelligence community assessment, before the Mueller investigation, before Crossfire Hurricane, there was this. In the summer of 2016, U.S. intelligence intercepted Russian intelligence talking about a Hillary Clinton plan to falsely accuse Donald Trump of Russia collusion, to vilify him and smear him with what would become known infamously as the Steele dossier. And Maria, this intelligence was so explosive that John Brennan briefed President Obama, Vice President Biden, Jim Clapper, James Comey, the entire national security team, telling them about this Hillary Clinton plan. Again, but think about this, Maria. That was in August of 2016, and yet it wasn't until more than 4 years later, in October of 2020, when I found, after an exhaustive search, John Brennan's handwritten notes and the underlying intelligence behind it that revealed exactly what happened. So for a 4-year period of time, the truth about the origins of the Russia collusion hoax was hidden from the American people.
Look, our audience knows this, thanks to you and thanks to Devin Nunes. Our audience is well aware of what took place here, but we want to see accountability. Many of the statute of limitations have expired. It's been almost 10 years for many of these folks who did this. But John Brennan testified to Congress, and so did Hillary Clinton, within 5 years. I think it was in 2020,
right,
and then again in 2021. Are those statute of limitations still live? Tell me if, in fact, we could see a criminal prosecution here, as you just the other day, 3 weeks ago, have, in fact, referred criminal referrals to the DOJ.
Well, Maria, so part of what came out last week was about how John Brennan, Clapper, Comey, they all pushed the known fake Steele dossier into intelligence community assessments and as the basis for Crossfire Hurricane and all that. But what hasn't come out yet, and what's going to come out, is the underlying intelligence that I have spent the last few months making recommendations about final declassification and sent that to the Department of Justice that will come out in the John Durham report classified annex. And what that intelligence shows, Maria, is that part of this was a Hillary Clinton plan, but part of it was an FBI plan to be an accelerant to that fake Steele dossier, to those fake Russia collusion claims, by pouring oil on the fire, by amplifying the lie and burying the truth of what Hillary Clinton was up to. And you're right, Maria. John Brennan testified to John Durham in August of 2020. He also testified to the House Oversight Committee in 2022. Hillary Clinton testified before John Durham under oath in 2022. James Comey testified before the Senate committee in September 2020. All of that's within the last 5 years. And much of that testimony is, frankly, completely inconsistent with what our underlying intelligence that is about to be declassified in the Durham Annex, what that reflects. And so, you know, Pam Bondi does have a strike force. It is a different Department of Justice, a different FBI, and an opportunity to look at how these people really did conspire to run a hoax, a fraud on the American people and against Donald Trump's presidency. And so coming forward, we understand that they did this, but now we need to understand how they did this. And I think that's why you see the left losing their minds over this, Maria, saying, why are you spending time? This is vindictive. You're going back. This is Donald Trump, you know, seeking retribution. It's not. Donald Trump's election by the American people was a statement, Maria. They said to everyone, we know what you did to Donald Trump, and we reelected him because we know this was all fake. We know it was a hoax. Now we want to understand how you did it so that it can't happen again. And that's what this declassification process that we're undergoing right now, what's going on, why it's so important, and why there can be accountability and preventability to prevent these same people that did it in 2016 with the Steele dossier, with the Hunter Biden laptop in 2020, from doing it again in the future.
So what I think I hear you saying is there is still an opportunity for indictments, potential prosecutions, accountability from those people who may have lied under oath, like John Brennan, James Comey, and perhaps Hillary Clinton.
Well, that's why I've made the referrals that I have. 𝗕𝗫 𝗕𝗃𝒏 has made referrals, and why we're going to continue to share the intelligence that would support the ability of our Department of Justice to make bring fair and just claims against those who have perpetrated this hoax against the American people and this stain on our country.
Director, one other question on this. 𝗔𝗃, as well as President Trump, used the word treason. Is there a statute of limitations on treason?
Well, Maria, what I would say is this, is there is no doubt in my mind that the people that we just talked about conspired. They conspired against President Trump. They conspired against the American people. And so I'll leave it to Pam Bondi and our Department of Justice, Kash Patel and our FBI to investigate the conspiracy to do what?